Hey now, folks. Let me see how long it takes for this to load for you guys at home. Do you like my setup? I do. My camera's facing the other way. So, yes. Okay, let me see. I think it's working. Yes. All right, we'll move this up just a little bit. Cool. All right. Find this stream like live packet into the Subwave network. We can see you. All right. Here's the setup. I'll tell you what happened. Yeah, I did have a Sutek hang on to the stream. It's this damn YouTube update. I don't know what it is. It's like, this is so dumb and boring, who cares? But like, originally when you were in settings, like scheduling the stream, you could, you selected if you wanted to do the stream horizontally or vertically. And I would always go horizontal like this. But now you do it before you go live, and I didn't realize that and I accidentally said go live on the old stream, but it was horizontal. No, it was vertical. So it would have been, it was just pointless for this whole setup, which I decided to kind of just last minute put together for our last stream ever. No. No, I'll be back. I'll be back. And actually, I have a date when I'm back. I'm gonna go away for a while, doing the live streams, but I'll be back on the 12th, or no, the 19th? Yeah, the 19th of July will be the next live stream. 7 p.m. on the 19th of July. Because I'm taking a little bit of a break before I go insane. Also, I have this for you, some background music. All right. Let me know if it's too loud or not loud enough. All right, let me read some comments. New setup? No. This is not the new setup. This is, bro, the side of this couch is so hot. This, whatever this is, a seat. I'm worried about it. But that's okay, at least it looks good. Robin Hood is coming, yeah. I thought Dan would be here, he's in the chat. Dan's coming over when I'm done here. I'm about to end this live streaming career of mine. No, I'm kidding. I'm just gonna be completely honest and level with you guys. I feel like I'm getting a little bit burnt out. Whether that be, hi Pep, great, my cat's coming to join me. Pepper, can you see her? Can you see her? I can't. Yeah, so I'm getting Pepper's come to comfort me. I'm getting a bit burnt out. That chimney pipe is at least 6.5 feet. Yeah, it probably is, 6.5 inches. I'm getting a little bit burnt out. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that season 1 didn't really hit my expectations, and fans' expectations. It was just a lot. It was a lot. I'd like to think that maybe if the series was maybe a little bit better, I wouldn't feel this way. But we're gonna react to 2 things on it. For example, I got it's like a Christmas special thing, 2 things to watch. And it's like, I haven't watched them yet. Do you know why? Because I don't care. Doctor Who's really hurt me a bit. Which sounds lame and cringe, I know. And there are worse things going on in the world, but I'm just feeling it a little bit. I'm a bit sick of talking about Series 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to do the good old podcast. The podcast isn't stopping, by the way. The main show, that will never stop. We'll probably be doing it when we're 90. The live streams will, for now, take a little bit of a break. And even after this big one in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing this when I'm on holiday. Even after that, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I felt a bit of dread today knowing I had to go live, just because it felt like a lot of pressure, and I felt like I had to do a show, and I'm just feeling unmotivated with YouTube a bit at the moment. And I'm very sorry. You guys have been nothing but kind to me, and it's nothing to do with any of you. It's just I'm tired. I'm very tired. It's been what? We did the prediction podcast every Monday, and then Friday nights I would do the stream, and then Saturday mornings we do the podcast. And I never did this for the money at all, which is good because there's not much in it. That's a joke. But it's like, it's a lot of work sometimes, and I do it because it's really fun, but particularly with the series just coming out, it was just a lot. It feels like a job sometimes that you're just not getting like paid for, really. I mean, we get a little bit, but not much. And speaking of that, I never wanted to make it about, the super chats and stuff. And last week, someone called me out on the stream about. Let me say this: like, I never expect super chats from you at all. I don't get angry when I see people who haven't done super chat. I never would, I never will. We're here for a good time. Last week I pinned a comment where it's like, if you give us a super chat, then we'll down our drinks. And those who were there, we did that on the Wild Blue Yonder predictions live stream, and it went down a treat, and it was fun. It was like engaging the audience. It gave us a bit more money to put towards the show. Like, all the money that gets sent through super chats or AdSense or Ko-fis, it all goes to the show. Like, it went towards, it was a huge part of the money went towards all the new mic gear and stuff. Someone commented that it was, not good well, I shouldn't say we, because it was my idea. I just want to say on that, I am sorry that someone, look, I shouldn't laugh, no. I'm sorry that I really don't want it to seem like I was trying to get money out of people, and in response to getting money, contribute to liver poisoning. I don't know. Like, the idea for the show, I think, that Alien and I go for is that, like, it's like you're with your mates having a couple of beers, talking about their favorite TV show. Like, you're down the pub, or you're around a mate's house, or you're out and about having dinner and you're having a few drinks or a few wines, and you're just talking about your favorite show. That's what it's going for, and that's what I was going for the other day. I feel bad asking for super chats. I felt bad doing it on the Friday, and I still did it. I don't know if I'm beating myself up too much, but I felt really bad about it, and it kind of turned me off doing the streams a little bit. Not saying I'm not going to come back. I mean, I will. I mean, I've got it planned for when I'm going to come back. But I just think it was a combination of, like, it was the last episode of the series. I was just going to try and do like a big final one before we go on break for for series 1 of Doctor Who. Like, it was the last episode of the series. So that's all I gotta say about that. I don't know. I just randomly felt like super bad during the stream, and I'm not trying to. I can see. Sorry, I will read comments. I can see some people being very kind. I do appreciate that. I'm really not looking for sympathy. I'm very grateful for it, though. All I ever want to do with this show is entertain. People can believe that or not, but that generally my main goal is to entertain people. Are spending their precious time, and I know how precious time is. and they're spending that time listening to me talk. I'm genuinely just here to entertain. I know there are a lot of scumbaggy like creators out there, even some scumbag, you know, Doctor Who creators like Critical Drinker and shit. Like, I never want to come across like that. I know we kind of do breach that boundary a little bit, and that is part of our marketing to an extent. I can't complain about it and then say, oh, but also we're trying to be a bit edgy, because I do want to be a bit edgy. I do want to be like the Howard Stern of Doctor Who YouTubers, or the Ethan Klein of it, you know, the H3H3 version of Doctor Who shows. But yeah, it's a combination of that and just feeling burnt out from the series, and also just not really loving what Russell cooked up for us all. It all just became a bit too much, and I felt very unmotivated this week. And even Aiden was like, yeah, let's delay film until tomorrow. We're going to be filming tomorrow our like series 1 overall thoughts in the podcast studio. But yeah, it was just as Jeremy very kindly pointed out. Where did he say it? Fuck. He said, oh yeah, I mean 2 podcasts a week and a live stream and a full-time job makes total sense. Yeah, I've been working. Again, this is. We'll move on from this after. I'm sorry, I don't want it to be like me just complaining, but yeah, I've been working like 6 days a week recently. I'm very tired. Again, I only do this to purely entertain, and I'm not saying people can't have their opinion. That person's more than entitled to say that they thought it was wrong. I'm not saying at all go send them hate. I'm only trying to love, baby. So cringe of me. Let me read some comments. Blah, 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 blah. Half the super chats were Dan anyway. Yeah, I know, and then I felt bad about that. People acting like you're those Twitch streamers who sit there getting mad when people don't tip. Yeah, look, I don't want to act like that. I'm sorry. On the 60th ones, the best bits were the shots. That's what I mean. Like, it was purely meant to be a bit of fun that entertained the audience and also helped support the show. I never expected anyone to participate. If people did participate, that's great. I can understand now in hindsight, looking back a little bit, why people might think it was a bit inappropriate, but still. Don't apologise, says Jeremy, thank you. Hey, if your homies don't back you, no one will, says Dan. True. You spent all the money on buying the drinks, you were down in any way. What? You spent all the money on buying the drinks. Every bit of money goes towards the podcast. Anyone who actually watches the show live stream regularly would know it wasn't a big begging session or whatever. Well, thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, because also, Jeremy, you weren't there. I'm not blaming you either for not being there, but it was like, yeah, it just was a bit too much. Guy says, don't apologise, mate. It just seems like an insignificant thing for someone to criticise you for. Thank you. Adam says, I sent a super chat to support the channel. Love you guys. Thank you, Adam. You did. I appreciate that so much. Jeremy says, sucks that some rando who probably doesn't watch can ruin it for everyone else. Look, you know, it's fine. Sarah says, the same people who hated on you a few episodes earlier. You never mentioned you were working on Saturdays. Yeah, well, I am working Saturdays because, God, this is really hot. The second this show is done, I'm going to move this chair because it's like, it even hurts to put my hand on it. I am working Saturdays because I have holidays to pay for. I made it this time, says Bull. Thank you for joining us. I can't believe I missed the last one. That's okay, you didn't miss much. You just watched me have a panic attack on live YouTube. You missed the chaos of setting it up. This was the third one. Yep. That is true. That is very true. Oh dear, I lost the chat. Speaking of, hold on, this might play some other audio. Real quick. Ignore it. No, it's all good. Speaking of holidays, I'm joking the fact that other the fact that you the other week mentioned a few times that you were working the next morning. Did I? Sorry. I just try to be as human as I can be, okay? Right, so oh yeah, I should say this as well. Is the music too loud? I can't tell. Either way. We booked I hope it's okay I say this. I think it is. We booked the Adelaide trip. So we're definitely going. And I'm very excited. There should be at least 2 bits of content coming out of it. I don't know, but look, we want to do a podcast. We'll see how it goes. We're not there for very long. I won't say exactly when I'm there, but yeah, it's only a few days. So we're going to be I will be vlogging. Yeah, Radelaide, says Alan. Yeah, Radelaide. I don't know how much we will film. I know, understandably, speaking of drinking, it's a Friday night. Come on. Yeah, speaking of drinking, I'm going to take a sip of my alcoholic beverage. And Pepper's come to join me again. Hello, Pepper. So, yeah, I'll be vlogging. We're going to try to record... No. Good girl. We're going to try to record a pod with all 4 of us. We'll see how it goes. I really hope we can, because I think that would be... Get on the O-Barn buses. I don't know what that is, but I'll give it a go. But yeah, I'm very excited. It'll be fun. Ow, Pepper. She's got such sharp claws, and when she gets excited, she likes to sit down and do this on your legs. Ow. Put Pepper on the keyboard and see what they type. Pepper's do you want to go outside, Pepper? Is that what it is? Do you want to go outside? No, you want to sit down, mate. Okay. I feel like one of those weird YouTubers who like sit down with their cat and they're like, let me talk to you about Doctor Who. No one does that actually. But a weird YouTuber who sits down with their cats and talks about shit. I don't know. I'm keen for it though. I mean, like, it'll be fun. I haven't seen Crispy was here this time last year, and I only saw Josh in Feb, so it'd be nice to go Bond villain vibes. Yeah, exactly. The stroking of the cat. It'd be good to see them. It'd be good to see everybody. Okay. I'm gonna pause the fantasy music for a second, and we're gonna watch 2 videos together. So, again, speaking of my hype for Doctor Who, or lack thereof, there's this thing, Doctor Who Christmas Special 2024 Joy to the World sneak preview, which I haven't even watched because I watched the clip with Ruby. I think she's like working in a pub. Okay. But I haven't seen this. So I thought we could watch it together and discuss it. And even Pepper's not interested. Alright, let's do it.
Next time, it's all about the ham and cheese toasting. It's the 2024 Christmas special.
Is he wearing the damn costume again?
It's the 2024 Christmas.
He's wearing the original. Oh, that's like my least favorite costume. Why does he keep wearing it? Ah! He's wearing the Church on Ruby Road jacket and shit.
Special. We've got Nicola Coughlan.
When I got the call from Russell T Davies asking me to do this, my first fear was if I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get prosthetics on, I'm not really looking forward to that.
Everest.
There, I actually feel coldest, doesn't it? It's a bit weird.
And a Stephen Moffat script.
You like serious bits? Here's serious bits. You like funny bits? Here's funny bits. You like explosions? We got explosions. You like monsters? Monsters. Pretty people? Pretty people. Right? You just everything. Just fling it at the screen. It's Doctor Bloody Who.
Yeah.
Beat that casualty.
Damn,
Next time,
Moffat is such a wacky guy.
all about the ham and cheese toasting.
Bits. You like funny bits? Here's funny bits. You like...
Alright, it's a Stephen Moffat episode. I'm not against that. I think we'll get to series 1 in a minute. I don't even want to talk about Series 1 a lot because I'm so mad. But this looks cool, I suppose. It's so hard to get excited after a quite disastrous series, to put it bluntly. Well, let's listen to the man himself. Russell T Davies teases George of the World.
Sometimes
And there's an
I need to
advert.
paraphrase.
Alright, here we go. Take it away, Russell.
So that's the end of the series. Nadia Shabazz, thank you for sticking with it, but it doesn't stop there.
Hold
It
on, what
goes
did he say?
That's the end of the series. Nadia Shabazz, thank you for sticking.
Nadia and Shabazz, so that's the podcast co-hosts. Everyone's favourite.
So that's the end of the series. Nadia Shabazz, thank you for sticking with it, but it doesn't stop there. It goes on. We have a Christmas special coming.
Really?
And I absolutely can tell you that Ruby Sunday has not finished her story. Millie Gibson's coming back.
That,
okay.
okay. Can I just say that right there?
Ruby Sunday has not finished coming. We have a Christmas special coming.
This one.
And I absolutely can tell you that Ruby Sunday has not finished her story. Millie Gibson's coming back.
That's just such a like. Do you remember this like disastrous like PR disaster they had with the whole Millie Gibson's a diva thing at the beginning of this year? That just was like a comment that's like addressing it without addressing it. Which I just, again, I love Russell, I really do, but I just don't understand stuff like that. It's like they could have handled it as, even the BBC could have handled that whole situation so much better. Oh, sorry, I missed the super chat. Tan, stop doing that. You're too kind. I dare you to do your best Sutek impression and plug our live stream this Sunday. I remain the super chat king. Sutek. Do I have to do a Sutek impression? For $8, I guess I should. I am Sutek, the god of death. Are you? Well, I didn't get that impression. Yes, and we are going live on Sunday for the For a Laugh podcast, which I've been having a lot of fun going. Oh, it's Dr. Skolnick's in the chat. What's up, bro? How you going? Have they actually confirmed the name of the episode like we all know it is, but has there been an official announcement? Yeah, I think that did not sound anything like Sutek. I know. I think, oh my God. Oh, Doug's in the chat. Let's go. Live stream, what the fuck? Nobody told me. So you are coming to Adelaide. Where can we see you guys at meet and greet? As much as I'd love to, I just don't know if everyone else wants to do that. I don't know. I'll throw it out there, but I don't know if people are gonna want to do that. I would, but I think we need to go back and watch some good Doctor Who this week. I 100% think Russell threw her on the bus with that shit. Yep, he did. But that was my boss. And as you all know, my boss is my dad. I'd like, come on, what's going on? What's going on? Sarah says, what time's the stream on Sunday? I'm away most of the weekends, probably won't be home in time. That's not for here, that's for the For a Laugh podcast. I don't know what time it is yet, but we'll schedule the stream, hopefully in advance. Jeremy says, Mr. Tyler's made a great video pretty much saying he thinks Russell didn't like Millie and spread the rumours to the press to get her to leave. No way. No way. Really? Mr. Tyler said that? Shit. I'm gonna let my cat out. I'm gonna let Pepper out before she starts jumping all over me again. Well, good girl. Okay, that would be bananas if he did that. Dan said Connor's a CUNT hair away from going full Eccleston, calling them all to be sacked. Well, I wouldn't call for them to be sacked. I just think they've just been doing some bizarre shit. But also I think that this shit was probably going on in season 1 to 4, but there just wasn't social media like there is nowadays. Sarah says Russell didn't need to do anything to nip them in the bud, so I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he was happy about it. RTD is so arrogant. RTD is an arrogant tool, says Doug. This is the thing, right? Oh, Scott, you're so kind. Thank you so much. $10 super chat. Going to Supernova tomorrow. No, I'm not. I've had a few messages about if I'm going to Supernova. I am not. As Sarah would love me to say, I am at work tomorrow, and then after that, I'm going to film the podcast of Aiden. I mean, I suppose I could pop in on Sunday quickly. I could get a media pass. Oh, I'll probably be too late to get a media pass. I don't know. It just might not be worth it, but it would have been lovely to see you again, Scott. That's where we met last year, didn't we? Let's finish this clip. Thank you again for super chats, guys. So kind. Thank you.
That's not a spoiler, it's an absolute fact. We're very excited. Absolutely can tell you that Ruby Sunday has not finished her story. Millie Gibson's coming back. That's not a spoiler, it's an absolute fact.
I know,
We're excited.
it's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler. This is an official video attached to the official Doctor Who podcast. This isn't a spoiler. It's not a live stream. You're not going to accidentally say something. I'm being too critical, sorry.
Gibson's coming back. That's not a spoiler, it's an absolute fact. We're very excited. Christmas is mad and brilliant, exciting. I can tell you that the story as we go into 2025 of Ruby's family is not quite at an end. There's more revelations to come. But why was Mrs. Flood standing on a rooftop making those pronouncements? All I can say is you are literally in for the ride of a lifetime. Please come back.
I love you, Russell. I really do. I love you. I think he's a really kind guy. He's very sweet. This whole please come back thing. It sounds a little bit desperate. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, folks. Sadness, Basti night soon. Of course. When they showed the Master at the end of the series trailer, it's not a spoiler, it's a fact. What, the series 10 trailer? God, that was so bad. It's too sus that RTD said Millie was leaving for family reasons. It's odd. Also, to not mention the episode was written by Steven, it's like they obviously filmed these all like a big bulk, which is not terrible, but it's like, you know, you can just tell these things. Jeremy says there's been reports that Millie will be in the Xmas special episode 4 and the final of series 2. The villain seems like it'll be her boyfriend. Is it bad that I just don't really care anymore? It's like mentioning like Mrs. Flood at the end. It's like, I'm sorry, like I don't care. I hate to say it, I really do. I was so optimistic about this series. So many times it feels like I'm just defending the show, and I just wish, I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand. I think it's fair to say I thought that like the final was just, and I think everyone feels this way, which is scary, that the final it just left so many questions, and the questions that were answered were just so unsatisfying. And it's just not good enough, in my opinion. I'm not trying to be incredibly harsh, but it's like, it just feels like Groundhog Day again. I swear I went through the Chibnall era feeling like this, where it's like, I just don't understand why they're doing this stuff, and I don't get it, and I don't understand the Doctor, and I don't really get the companions, and I feel like these are simple things that people would understand, and they just don't, and it just bugs me. It was no Saranga conundrum, at least. I used to be able to say that, Saranga conundrum. No, it wasn't, to be fair. That's what I mean, like, look. There are 2 episodes in the series that I'm so glad exist. That being Boom and 73 Yards. One, granted, written by Russell, and the one that I love the most, and I think generally is one of my favorite episodes ever, is 73 Yards. And Rogue I would count as an episode that I think is really, really good, but it didn't give me the tingles that 73 Yards and Boom did. The rest of the series, I honestly could like take or leave. There's episodes like Devil's Call and Dot and Bubble that I just didn't connect with. Empire of Death, I just think is like just lame and anticlimactic. We're not living in this day and age anymore. Like, there's so much good TV on at the moment. What makes Doctor Who stand on its own 2 feet? If Doctor Who didn't have fans like us who religiously watch the show, it wouldn't be on the air. It doesn't, it just, I can't recommend this series to anybody because I just generally don't think it's that good. And that's so upsetting. They had the perfect opportunity to do it with the Disney deal, the perfect exposure, and I just think, particularly with the way it starts, and I'm a Space Babies enjoyer, but I can totally understand why people think it's bad. Totally understand it. My whole family hated it. It was so embarrassing to watch it with them. We never went past Devil's Cord because they disliked it that much. It's just so embarrassing. Ugh. I think, Jeremy says, I think personally Davros should have detonated the reality bomb in Journey's End, then reversed it by dragging Davros out of the back of the TARDIS while he flays around like a dumbass. I read that so badly. What would it take for you not to watch it again, says Sarah? Nothing. Nothing. That's the problem. Nothing. I'll always watch it. I will always watch it. That's the problem. I'm about to be embarrassed about being a Doctor Who fan again, says Doug. Yeah. I think I'll show my family 73 yards and boom, and then that's it. Because I just don't think, like, I don't know. I just think that it's just kind of shit. Space Babies was such a poor opener. I recently watched the pilot series, turns so much better. Pilot, I think, ages better the more time goes on. That's what I mean, Thomas Scott. I think that Space Babies is such a bizarre episode to open up on. It's so in your face. And I get Russell was probably trying to go for like, this is just Doctor Who. It's going to be wacky and crazy. And they'll figure it out sooner or later, so they might as well find out now. I think it was the wrong move. As much as I enjoy that episode as a fan, Devil's Cord has never worked for me. I know people love it. I've been seeing tons of people putting it as their favorite episode of the series. That's great. I just personally just don't enjoy it. I've been watching The Boys at the moment, and I've been watching House of Dragon, and I hear the Bear series 3 isn't great, but I know people are watching The Bear at the moment, and there's just such great TV to watch that's just, it doesn't stand on its own 2 feet. It's just us fans who watch it, but if you show it to a regular audience member, like I did to, like, say, my family, they look at it and they go, what is this? Like, and I can't blame them. Sarah says, which is better, Battle of Ranscroft Colossus or Empire of Death? Obviously Empire of Death, but I still think it's not great. Doug says, I'm not showing my family my 73 yards, winky face. Funny. This is so hot. Like, I literally can't keep my fucking hand on it for like a minute. Jeremy says, you're so right about there being, Jeremy says, we're so right about there being much better TV at the moment. People in the age bracket Russell wants are going from watching Stranger Things and Fallout to this. Yep. Space Series is such a near final episode. Yep. Sarah says, I think having the different types of episodes in Series 1 was a good idea, but should have started with a more dramatic one. I agree. Empire of Disappointment, says Adam. If you rank all the series files, are those the bottom 2 then? Probably, because I just think, like, I'm not mad as people. First episode of the Bear Series 3 is weird. I've been watching Major Kingstown. Jeremy Renner is a legend. Yeah, I haven't watched the Bear Series 3 yet, but I'm keen to give it a go. I'll definitely watch it. as for Empire of Death as like a final, I just think like I'm not mad against like about Ruby's mum being nobody, but I think that's very Doctor Who, and I think it's a very nice message that like the most ordinary person can be so important, because we all feel unimportant, but I just think like there's just so many things. You've already heard them, I don't need to name them, but I will. It's like, why was Maestro scared of Ruby? Why did it snow? Why did the Christmas song play? Why could the database on Castarian 3 and Boo not be able to find Ruby's mum? It's just so many things that just felt like, as Russell said, it was there to make content. I honestly just think that's the biggest like fuck you to the audience who was so behind you and supported you. He's just so TV brained, and I used to praise him for that, but I felt so deflected last Saturday. So did I. It sucks. We deserve better than this. It's funny because I kept thinking like, oh, the 60th was a bit weird, but you know, series 1 won't be. Wrong. Wrong. Thomas Scott says, one of my friends who hasn't watched Doctor Who before started because of Shooty, likes Shooty but hasn't enjoyed the series. Well, that's another great point. Shooty and Millie, you couldn't get better fresh talent if you tried, and they're so wasted. We're ending the series with them saying goodbye to each other. You feel nothing. You're just like, it's so funny. Like, there's this line that really bugs me. And by the way, I haven't rewatched Empire of Death. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'll rewatch it before tomorrow. But why do I need to? It's boring. I hated the podcast, so I said I really enjoyed it at the beginning and then went to trash it. That's because we do the shows so quickly afterwards. I'm trying to get my thoughts together, much like these live streams. But yeah, I hate how I said I enjoyed it. I didn't. There's this line at the end of the episode where Millie's like, why don't you come to see my dad with me? And then she starts crying, and Millie's great in it. And she's like, oh, you don't do that stuff, do you? And the Doctor's like, no, I don't. We know that as the audience that the Doctor doesn't do that stuff, but when did we see them as characters discuss that they don't do that, that the Doctor doesn't do that? It's beyond me. Jeremy says, if you have told me that either Battle of Ranskow Cross or Empire of Death was the first draft I had to pick, 100% picked Empire. Yeah, I agree. And then Ruby's mum pointed at the sign because she named Ruby. It's so dumb. Is there no one? This is people's jobs. Is there no one at the BBC being like, that's kind of stupid. That's dumb. I'm still confused this series, says Sarah. Jamie says, why did Sherry just not bring up how menacing Mrs. Flood was being after the fact, literally? Oh, but don't worry, there's a big mystery coming with Mrs. Flood, sorry. And I hate all this like, oh, it's Ruby's dad's the reason why it snows and she's a secret. That's fine, keep threads going. We had the crack with Matt Smith, like we had the timeless child got mentioned in Ghost Monument for Jodie, second episode. Give Chidle his dues. He added it in the second episode. It's okay to have ongoing threads, but this just like, you've got to give your audience more. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up on all the chats. I'm gonna have to go soon because the night is ticking on, and you and I gotta hang out, Daniel. Daniel, get your coat. I put some of those points up as an editing this evening. What, my points? Thank you very much. Daniel says, where does you put Shooty in your Doctor's ranking? I think Shooty is he's just so rawly talented. He is so great. And I hate, and I had this with Peter where I'm like, I love you so much, but I just feel like I'm not getting what I want from you. But to be fair to even Peter's Doctor, I felt like I got more out of him than I've gotten out of Shooty so far. Like that Kill the Moon fight at the end with Clara and the Doctor. I made a tweet about it. I was like, I would have killed to have a scene like this between the Doctor and Ruby. There was no conflict. And that happened in Peter's first series. That was in series 8. So I can shit on like the idea of Peter's Doctor not having good writing, but he had that. How is he in my rankings? I don't know. I think Peter's always been my favorite. It's hard because I feel bad for Ncuti. I feel like his Doctor personally, I don't understand. I don't get his Doctor. He can cry at the drop of a hat, but I don't understand his emotions. You can cry, but what's the emotions? And I cry all the time. I'll admit it, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it, and it's brave, and it's especially as a man, it's brave to do it. And I'm not saying anything about that, but I need to know the motivation. This is a TV show. This is a script. You have an arc. It's called an arc. It's called a character arc. This is so simple. I'm telling you this. I've never studied a day in filmmaking in my life. I'm telling you this. This isn't just Doctor Who. This is just storytelling. Character arcs. It's just so dumb. It's so easily avoidable. I don't understand. I could have died of happiness and glee the day I found out Russell was coming back. There aren't even enough words to express how excited I was. And if you could have told me how I'm feeling now, I never would have believed you. Never, ever, 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 ever would have believed you. It's such a sad time to be a Doctor Who fan. It feels like we're back in the Chibnall era again, where like, but it's different this time because everyone seems to be kind of on the same side. We're like, this sucked. It's shit. It sucks. Doug says, yes, Ruby's mum was a nice message, but I feel it was a hasty rewrite because they sacked Millie. It didn't make sense. Also, the road sign, you point out, wasn't there originally. It wasn't. So you really think they sacked Millie? This is so bizarre. Sarah says he knew we'd all theorised about Mrs. Flood, Ruby's mum, and Susan Twist, and half of those were cop out and the others were still unanswered. Correct. Ruby, you've taught me, sorry, I'm trying to keep up with all the, Jamie says, Ruby, you taught me to view family differently. The ponds are my joke to you. Literally. It's like Aiden said, it's like you can say it, but it doesn't mean it's true. Teddy, her full name should have been Ruby Road, not Ruby Sunday. Yeah, correct, Dan. In the 6 months we missed? Huh? Adam says, they started watching the 9th and Rose again, feel like they have more development in 2 episodes than 15 and Ruby in 8. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even Stephen looked at the script and bounced. Did he? Oh dear. Shit. Doug says Russell admitted he used first drafts as final scripts on the documentary. Jamie says, seems like Russell was just trying to buy himself more time. Max says, hopefully new companions next series gives an opportunity for proper character development, especially if she ends up being the same person from Boom. Yeah, I'm not even too keen on the Verada see-through coming in because it's like, I feel like I don't even know who Ruby is. It's just, Sarah says, the unanswered questions is an edit. You literally named the same ones I made yesterday. That's awesome. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to everyone's questions. Thomas says there's so much unexplained. 8 episodes wasn't enough. Lack of Doctor and Ruby development as a result completely. Dr. Scott Nick says, I'm fine because you fixed yourself. Yeah. We didn't forget Russell from the giggle. Jeremy says they could easily have had more conflict during the time jump in the final. Had the companions because of the Doctor because they expanded the situation. Yeah, I said that in a review if they could have done like a bit of like a Horcrux thing from Deathly Hallows Part 1. Honestly, just adding a 5 minute scene with the Doctor and the TARDIS at the end of each episode would have made the whole thing 10 times better. Max, you've taken the words right out of my mouth. That is so true. Those scenes are always gold. Ugh. Jeremy says, get therapy, then immediately shuts Ruby out when Rogue supposedly dies. Yeah. Doug, Doctor Who used to be fun for everyone, now it's what RTD wants it to be for him. Kind of agree. Oh shit. Jeremy says, you look at the Doctor and Ruby in episode 2 and 8 and the characters haven't changed. Nope. You asked when Ruby let the Doctor doesn't do family stuff. I was answering in the 6 months between space with Devil's Court. Right. Alright, it's 7 o'clock. How long have I been going for, folks? How long am I going for? I've been going for 45 minutes. I don't want to leave, but I have to. Have a good night, geezer. Thank you, Dr. Scottnick. You too. Dan, are you ready? I don't know. Where is Dan? I love you guys. You're the best. Bro speed read the chat. I had to. It's the last. Daniel, get your coat. Come over. Come over now, Daniel. Order an Uber. Yeah, this is the last super chat. Sorry, don't mention them. No, this is the last live for a couple of weeks. I'll be back. Reminder, I'll be back, and it'll be a big live stream. It'll be a big super fucking thing on the 9th. No, I think the 19th. Hold on. Yep, sorry. The 19th of July. The next live stream, the 19th of July. Podcast episodes will be weekly as always. 19th of July, next live stream. I got a lot of plans for it. It's gonna be really fun. And let's just say there's been a little bit of development into making this whole setup a lot better than it looks and sounds right now. 7 p.m. 19th of July. I'll see you there, and I love you all very much. I don't love you, but I will respect you in the morning. Pardon me? Delilah is waving. Bye, Delilah. Much love from Perth. Till July. Well, you'll see me. You will see me. In the calendar, says Dr. Scottnick. Thank you. What is 7 p.m. here in the UK? Use Google. 7 p.m. UK time to 7 p.m. Perth time to UK, wherever you live. Ripped until July. No rip. I will be doing the podcast. I'm not going anywhere. It's just the live streams are taking a little break. I'm getting a little bit burnt out, okay? Doug says, I don't love you, but I will respect you in the morning. I don't know what that means, but that's okay. Well, guys, I've been Connor. See you 19th in the podcast. I've been Connor Hannon. You've been the best. And thank you for making my dream come true. Goodbye.